Well, welcome to what is the first video presentation of a watch that I've ever done. I don't know if there'll be any more, but I do agree that if one picture is worth 1,000 words, probably 1 minute of video is worth 1,000 pictures. Anyway, I will wear gloves for this, black gloves, in order not to divert any attention from the product to my fingers when I'm presenting this. Very well. This is the Space Discovery, 128 pieces, numbered, and this is the presentation. As you can see right off the bat, you have two modules here. One analog, automatic, mechanical, the other digital. Both are quite interesting in their own way. Anyway, let's talk about the packaging first. Get this out of the way. Well, obviously you have this little thing here with your typical cloth that comes in as a present. I do not recommend using cloths like that at all, ever, because they get contaminated right away. They get sand, dust on them, and whatever you use them on, even steel, they end up creating micro scratches. So cleaning and wiping your watch all the time with cloth like that do not do you a service, more likely a disservice. Here you have the catalog, I mean not the catalog, all the instructions as well, and their color, which is a nice touch. Few watch manufacturers, watch brands today spend money at all making them in color anymore, which is nice, and then limit the warranty, which I have to fill out and send back in order to validate it. Here you have a leather pouch. Well, that unzips like that so that you can travel with your modules. I guess that in the future there will be more modules, probably different digital modules, probably a chronograph module or anything, other movements, etc. So we'll see what happens in the future. Again, HALDA is meant to stay. These are only 128 pieces, so expect new stuff rather soon. Here you have your bracelet. I have already mounted the Kevlar brace strap on the watch and removed the bracelet because it's the next 10 days. That's how I'm probably going to wear the watch all the time. There are many reasons I've done, well, there are several reasons I've done this. Number one, I like Kevlar straps quite a lot. Number two, it's probably the best quality finished Kevlar strap I've seen to date. And this, I must say, has one flaw, and that it does not have a micro-adjustable summer adjustment. Most manufacturers now have the micro-adjustable summer adjustment, either because, you know, with the heat, your wrist is going to swell, so you need a little bit more. You know, usually it's half a notch, 1 notch maybe. And some people that sleep with the watches, usually at night, your wrist will swell as well. So if you tend to leave your wrist watch on during the night, at night, you would like to have a micro-adjustable bracelet in order not to hurt you in any way. You have an extra Kevlar strap, which is probably here meant to go on the current Kevlar strap that's on there for space walks when you're in a spacesuit. Not that I'm not going to use that at all, I think, more often, to be honest with you. But anyway, so this is the packaging. Now to the mechanical, automatic movement, or module, I would say. As you see, this is quite interesting in two ways, this module. It is a new old stock, tuned up movement by Sven Andersson. I think I know who makes these movements because I've seen them before. However, this is a bit modified and actually improved over this original new old stock movement. This movement is probably, if I'm correct, and I will write on my blog exactly who this is or where this came from, about 30 years old. I think that back then this movement did not work too well because you did not have the materials to actually make this function proper, because this is a 36,000 alterations per minute, per hour movement, and back then that was not such an easy task. The other interesting option here is the date change. So instead of pulling the crown once to set the date, you have to press and let go, press and let go. This is the way you should do it. Press and let go, not just press, because you might actually damage the movement. I know that these are delicate, these are very easy to break, so be careful with this. If you do it like that, and you treat it, for example, like a foudroyant chronograph, it is exactly the same. You will have no problems at all. This will last forever. Actually, in setting the date is something that you don't do all the time. The other option thing that's actually quite nice is, as you can see, because of the 5 Hz movement, the hand sways, and that is really, really magnificent. Instead of ticking like a quartz watch or like a regular 3 Hz movement or 18,800 alterations per hour movement, you will see it slightly ticking. But you see here, because there's so many alterations per hour, I mean, the thing sways, and that is very, very, very sexy. The movement finish is actually over average. It's not a very beautiful movement, but it works very well in the space theme. It's actually, it looks like you know, performance. It's it's not about, you know, being pretty, but it looks like, again, a performance movement, so it actually works quite well. I wouldn't like to see this on a classical dress watch because it really doesn't look that, it's not that pretty. Anyway, so this is the analog module. In order to release the mechanical automatic movement module and insert the digital one, you have to press 2 buttons in here to release the module. I'd like to say also that the quality, I must say, of the bracket that holds the module is fantastic. I mean, you could not slip a hair in between these two, in between the module and the bracket. The finishing of the case is outstanding. The quality really up there with the best of the best, I must say. It's, I would say, in the league of the Royal Oak, the Offshore, etc. by AP. Anyway, you press these 2 in here. The analog module comes out as easy as that. And by the way, here, see, there are details here. There's a perlage inside, which is completely useless, really, to the function of the watch. But these are the little details that make a watch great. Because the watchmaker took the time to decorate this inside here, even though they could have done without, it really makes the difference between an average watch and a great watch. See, these are things to watch for. Completely useless, but it's probably food for the soul, I would say. Again, you take the digital module, just place it in here, carefully, not even, and press down. Before I present the digital module, there's one thing that I'd like to add that I forgot, and that is I ordered the watch box with this option here, which is an LED light. That plugs in right in the back of the actual watch box. As you can imagine, this is completely useless, but I think it's fun. It's definitely different, and it might be interesting in the future to have this option. I don't think that many actually ordered this option at all, because it's not cheap, it's not expensive either, but obviously, you know, watch boxes are useful the first day and then they go either in the trash, which I don't recommend, or simply in a cupboard and you forget about that. Now to the digital module. Here you can see in this hole is a light sensor that dictates if the watch is going to turn on the backlight or not. In order to save battery life, obviously, you know, during the daytime it's useless if you have a backlight. This watch activates only if you press it to see the time. This is the general main screen, and you just go on the different functions pressing this button here. As you can see, it is tuned up to have, well, it's configured to have these certain functions that are useful for a off-world mission. Not that any of us are going to have that problem, but you know, what the hell. Anyway, this button here, you can switch to the calendar. I do not know why the time is not kept in here. Would probably fix that, because just a calendar like that and just makes no sense. Battery power, version, etc., and back to your main screen. The functions that are available here is your regular chrono, start, stop, reset. It also has lap time, by the way. A timer function, you can stop it. Wait. The timer needs more reset, just in case, but anyway. You can set your timer like that. It's quite easy once you read the instructions. UTC alarm, mission elapsed time alarm, event log, réveil, which is your regular alarm. You can set it for every day, weekdays, once, or off. The countdown, this is actually a very cool feature. Few have these. You can set a date and time, and it will start counting down until that specific date or time or event that you're actually waiting. You know, most children will probably set up Christmas or any, others will put their wedding day, time elapsed until death. Anyway, and mission elapsed time start on a hold. Earth time when you're up in space. Again, I don't think I'm going to use that a lot. G-force, which is the accelerometer, we'll go into detail about that later. And back to your regular home screen. The back is engraved. Again, the finish is impeccable. All these are numbered. Everything's numbered. The frame is numbered. Both modules are numbered. Now to the G-force indication. Here you go to the settings. Earth time G-force. Okay, you have several settings, either liftoff, re-entry, or just your common old measure. In order to start this, you just press like that. Here, measure active. The default should be 1.0. I'm holding in my hand, so it's obviously varying a little bit. If you shake it quite a lot, you get higher readings, and when you stop this, you get your max G-force, which in this case was 2.3. Now, the size of this watch, in order for you to see, I have a medium size, average size wrist. I would say medium size to slightly over medium size. And the watch is very similar in size to a Royal Oak Offshore. Very similar. Works quite well. Very comfortable. Again, there's nothing there that could cut you or hurt you or anything in that way. And I'm going to be wearing this and testing this for the next 10 days. I will be posting the pictures also, proper pictures, so you can see the LCD without light.